So my part of the project basically concerns like early Kennedy and Johnson era policies towards anti-Castro efforts and how that affected the development of Miami and South Florida specifically. And so I was wondering, what would be your line of thought and kind of opinion with regards to how the two first main confrontations, the Bay of Pigs invasion and the Cuban Missile Crisis, impacted the stream of Cuban refugees to Miami and the development of Miami as a whole?
Okay. I would think in terms of politics, the most significant development to come out of something like that would be the older generation of Cuban votes straight ticket Republican. I think you'll probably find people of my mother's generation feel betrayed by President Kennedy, feel that the Democratic Party was soft on communism, and so therefore have always sort of looked to the Republican Party as being the bastion of anti-communist politics. So I think it changed voting demographics for sure in Dade County, meaning that even though there might be a large percentage of African Americans or other groups that might traditionally vote Democratic, the large influx of Cubans would actually alter, Florida's voting history. In terms of the first waves of Cubans to come over, the very first wave comes in 1959. By the time the Bay of Pigs invasion happens, there's already a thriving Cuban exile community in South Florida. Then there's actually a small lull in the number of people who are allowed to come over. The Castro government begins tightening restrictions for people leaving the country. The second wave of Cubans begins more or less in 1964 and through 66, 67. My mother was part of that second wave. So the first wave would probably be more politically connected people with the Batista regime, professionals, doctors, lawyers. This doesn't mean that they had it easy when they came here. In most cases, American officials would not recognize medical titles or engineering certificates from other countries, but it does mean that they actually had a skill set that would be more easily dovetailed into American society later. Middle class people more or less came in the 1960s in that wave. Between 65, I'd say, and 69, there's another significant wave, and then in the 1980s, there's actually like the largest single influx, which was the Mariel boat lift.